ICAI Indore branch to have the former Chief Justice of India at their branch. ऐसे ज्ञान के दीप हो, आपने न्याय मार्ग आलोकित किया। ऐसे ज्ञान के दीप हो, आपने न्याय मार्ग आलोकित किया। मां भारती के सर्वोच्च न्यायपालिका का पद विभूषित किया। धन्य हो गई इंदौर नगरी पाकर आपकी निश्रा। आज हमारे बीच पधारे न्याय के महापुरुष श्री दीपक जी मिश्रा। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर। Honorable Justice Dipak Misra ji has served as 45th Chief Justice of India from 28th August 2017 till 2nd October 2018. Born on 3rd October 1953, Justice Misra Sahab enrolled as bar in 1977 and practiced at Orissa High Court. He being appointed as additional judge of the Orissa High Court in 96 and was transferred to Madhya Pradesh High Court, where he was made permanent judge in 1997. In December 2009, Justice Misra Sahab was appointed as Chief Justice of Patna High Court, serving until May 2010 when he was appointed as Chief Justice of Delhi High Court. Justice Misra Sahab was elevated to Supreme Court of India on 10th October 2011 and assumed charge as Chief Justice of India on 28th August 2017. A former judge of Orissa and Madhya Pradesh High Courts and a former Chief Justice of Patna and Delhi High Courts, he is a bold and human judge. As a judge, Justice Misra Sahab has delivered several judgments in the field of human rights, civil liberties, rights and concerning the lives of citizens. He has also decided important issues pertaining to commercial and contractual matters, corporate law and issues in the field of taxation and arbitration. While he was a judge in High Court of Madhya Pradesh, he had struck down amendments to the Act that provided gradually taking away grant from the aided education institution. That decision saved the livelihood of thousands of teachers in Madhya Pradesh. Thank you, sir. Further, preaching through his judgment rights of equality, liberty and dignity. In the public interest litigation, he has directed the shelters home in Delhi to run properly and issue directions to provide facilities so the people would be in position to live with dignity in the shelter homes. The same way, to live with dignity and to die with dignity. In a unanimous ruling in Common Cause versus Union of India, he recognized the right to die with dignity as fundamental right for smoothing the process of dying of terminal ill patients. For the women empowerment, a landmark ruling decision struck down the century-old section 497 of IPC, considering the provisions to be unequal and arbitrary. Landmark ruling lifting the ban on the entry of women into Sabrimala temple. He also ended the 59-year-old practice in Indian film industry that banned women from being classified as makeup artists. As a judge of Supreme Court of India, Justice Misra Sahab has delivered several landmark judgments. He has contributed immense to the Indian constitutional jurisprudence, and each of his judgments can be said to constitute watershed moments in Indian judicial history for enhancing the scope of golden trinity of rights under the Constitution. Last but not the least, in another path-breaking judgment, Chief Justice Misra Sahab, while presiding over the constitutional bench, penned the judgment asking the Parliament to frame law to ensure decriminalization of politics and further issue directions aimed at giving citizens an informed choice and infusing a culture of purity in politics by directing for wide publicity of criminal case pending against the candidates. I would like to mention that Justice Misra Sahab rejected Mumbai serial blast convict Yaqub Menon's appeal to stop execution, as well as awarded to the 4 convicts in brutal 2012 Delhi gang rape case, Nirbhaya case, again justifying his judgments. Justice Misra Sahab has been a strong upholder of constitutional values and citizenry rights and a strong defender of the rights to equality, liberty and dignity. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite our special guest, former Chief Justice of India, Shri Dipak Misra Sahab.
Dignitaries on the dais, chartered accountants, Ladies and gentlemen, since yesterday, I have been contemplating whether the chartered accountants spend more or spend less. Today, I am convinced that they are not miters. You must have some kind of curiosity and anxiety to know why do I say that. I call a class that they are not miters. Mr. Bhandari was saying something before I came here, and possibly he must have been told by the authorities and the audience to say so. It's not his own creation. You see, there is a beautiful saying: a man can live without food for 7 days. He can live without water at least for 3 days. I'm talking about average man. He can live without air for few minutes, but he can't live without praise for few seconds. So what he thought that he must elevate me and praise me and to bring me to such a status, I feel nervous. But I am an honest man. I pay my taxes honestly. So I am not going to be devoured by the praises showered by him. See, when you talk about the chartered accountants, immediately it strikes you what can be the role of such a clan for the purpose of building economic ethos of a nation like ours. We are in between developed economy and developing economy. We can't claim that we are the developed economy, and we can't go on always saying that we are a developing economy, and that's why I said they fit into some kind of middle between the developing and already developed. The accounting system which are there in India from other ancient days was different. That is a system. Otherwise, a man like Kautilya could not have conceived of Arthashastra. Something has to be prevalent to be taken note of so that you improve upon it. Presently, a stage has come, there is multiplicity of business, one entity entering into series of transactions with other entities. There is a sense of reciprocity. When there is multiple and reciprocal and innumerable transactions, the scientific manner of bookkeeping becomes paramount. I know all of you are acquainted with it, but I have a purpose. The scientific manner of bookkeeping reminds a stranger the love, the respect, the devotion, the dedication the chartered accountants have for formality of bookkeeping. When I say formality, I am not saying in the ordinary sense. Formality matters. Remember, formality is the hallmark of authenticity. I repeat, formality is the hallmark of authenticity. And chartered accountants, by following this principle, keep the nation's head high because they prove to the others that they are authentic. This language of bookkeeping is not ordinary. It may look ordinary to the chartered accountant, but a thinker like Mr. Warren Buffett, he was an eventual achiever in business. He says, I quote, "Accounting is the language of business." Mark these words. Accounting is the language of business. Let's have a digression. My grandfather never kept accounts. That's what he writes in his autobiography. My father was meticulous in accounting system. This much has come, this much has given, this is the purpose, this remains, whatever it is. For every year there will be a big notebook like this. I've got 5 of them, I preserved it. But I thought to myself that he was not paying income tax. Why was he doing it? What habit? Self-discipline. This individual self-discipline brings discipline, pattern and quality shift in big business. And chartered accountants are in a position to bring this kind of qualities in the system of accounting in the business field. They are the moral spine of Indian economy. Chartered accountants are the moral spine of Indian economy. If they break the ethicality, if they break the morality, Indian economy will go haywire. Because you don't know, you can't trust the accounting system. That is why the accounting system, apart from other things require discipline. While I was studying in college, art economics, the man who could become the vice chancellor was the professor in economics. He dropped in an undergraduate class and he asked all of us, what do you understand by economics or economy? The young boys, they have read some books. We answered. He said, remember, entire economy of the world is based on faith. No faith, no economy. Of course, I know there are people who will get into quarrel. Sir, when so many thousand crores are given on loan, what is the question of faith? He didn't mean that way. Faith means you are aware of the culture, the cultivation of the man, the industry, the factory, and the assets. You knew everything and you had the faith in the personality. Wherever there is deficit of faith, there is a bad economy. But faith is not structured by psychology, but by economics or psychology of economics. I hope I'm clear to you. You have to develop the psychology of economics. And that is why the psychologists who are writing books on economics are getting Nobel Prize nowadays. No, it's a fact. 2016 he got the Nobel Prize. The Supreme Court has come heavily sometime in 1980s with regard to tax planning. I said, how far you will take us? That everything is being planned like this. Tax planning must be genuine. You don't reduce the income and increase the expenses. Put both the things in correct perspective and thereafter proceed as per law. How to get the beneficiary the exemptions. The distinction between the tax planning and tax evasion has to be legally and ethically should be understood. And there I must tell you, and it's my obligation, that the chartered accountants have a significant role to advise a company or an individual. That this is fundamental tax planning, and you go beyond it, it will be tax evasion. Remain within the net, don't run away. What is called? Historically, such a conception is called accuracy. And friends, remember, accuracy is beautiful. Now I am joining literature with tax. Accuracy means honesty. Inaccuracy means dishonesty. But to put it in the terms of literature, accuracy is beautiful, inaccuracy is ugly. Chartered accountants are expected to mirror themselves and pose a question: am I going to be accurate and beautiful, or inaccurate and ugly. And I am sure all of you like to become accurate. I had written a lot of things, but like capital budgeting, how it is to be done, I'll give it to Mr. Saha. I hope they will put it in the website. I've given certain modern thoughts, but that's every accountant, every chartered accountant knows. But I want to give emphasis on, are you understanding? Ask yourself, Mr. Chartered Accountant, the RBI circulars in proper perspective. I am sure you do not intend to understand the RBI circulars, notifications and the guidelines. Sometimes you are guided by the clientele psychology and clientele commands. My honest suggestion would be, please understand the language. If he doesn't support the assessee, advise him. Don't follow this path. This is not what the RBI intends to say. You see what they do, and I have seen it. They take out the 2008 circular, 2018 circular, they say there is a gap. There is no gap. There is a connectivity. You must also there read the law relating to statutory interpretation. Yesterday while I was discussing, I was telling them, law and chartered accountancy are not entirely inseparable. Apart from knowing the tax law, they must learn the fundamental principles of some statutory interpretation, so that they will not go wrong in advising. You see, you have a protective role. You are protecting your clients, your assessees, the persons who are going to come in to consult us. You are sitting in a very good infrastructure, but an institute infrastructure is not the sine qua non of this association. Quality infrastructure has to be improved. Unless you improve the quality infrastructure, your lateral thinking, your horizontal progress will not improve. Bat straight, go straight, be straight, but you must also utilize your thinking process. You must be in a position to protect the interest of the entrepreneurs. If you are not a proper chartered accountant. Now, we have the international accounting standards. Please ask yourself, are you acquainting yourself with the international standards? If so, how far you have gone? You see, when you know the international standards, the intergovernmental working improves. The technical know-how which comes from the other experts, the tax liability, many other things become easy and people love to respect you. Additionally, you become confident. A confident man is equal to 10 dependent personalities. A competent chartered accountant can be trusted than the 10 core group because there will be 10 advices. Whereas a confident chartered accountant will give a singular correct advice. If I'm asked, I will say, I'll follow the one. I will not follow the multiple. That's the distinction between the singular view and the multiple view. Because the man's confidence, man's knowledge, man's wisdom gains him strength, not his core group and how many persons he has kept. The knowledge in chartered accountancy is dynamic in 2020. You can't be complacent. And some are adding, it's noble. Nobility is getting attached to your profession. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can't now lie low. You have to implant the idea of nobility in your mind. And it is challenging now. A competition is coming. You see, in 70s, I used to hear two people, one man, he's a great chartered accountant. Now 2020, there are so many. So it's challenging. And the system itself is becoming dynamic. The nano-economics is throwing challenges at you and you have to educate yourself. I think it is Mr. Bhandari or Mr. Garg or both of them. No, they talk also. Mr. Saha talks something different. I hope you people are mindful. He says, now the Chartered Accountant Association has taken over to some extent the responsibility of corporate social responsibility. What does he mean? He intends to bring intellectual atmosphere throughout the country by lecturing, by teaching, by holding examination, by sponsorship, by scholarship, and so many things. This social responsibility, corporate social responsibility of this association has to be praised and has to be praised in capital letters. And as participants, you must feel proud. Here, I must announce, feeling proud is prestigious. Are you feeling proud? Yes, I feel proud. A last proclamation before I part. I was puzzled by a book. Chartered accountants only are interested to see papers. They don't intend to hear speeches. I said, that's fine. But when there is a spine, economic spine, and there is a nation, and you are holding it as the spine holder, so how can you get away? You are the spine holder, so you have to hold on. The other person asked me, what do you mean by they will hold on? I said, because they are holding the spine of economy of this country. They are trying to protect the marrows of economy of this country. In such a situation, they must see papers and hear speeches. He or she was convinced. Now I go convinced, yes, chartered accountants affectionately hear speeches. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for enchanting the words of wisdom here. After the Abdul Kalam Sahab, we being now praised by you with the most disciplined hallmark and the moral spine. Thank you very much, sir, for this new dictionary of the chartered accountants.